we find a lot of the companies we work with starting, and I think this is coming from comms people, as I'm just kind of like running through my index of instances in my mind here, is that we hear the word community popping up more and more in a corporate context. And, something that is organic, kind of more, again, of a mesh network of, it could be someone in an official role connecting with a group of, quote unquote, regular employees, or it could be employee to employee. Are you hearing that? Like, do you think it all about community? Do your clients think it all about community, kind of vis-a-vis, their company and its people?
Community is I think, fascinating and very exciting area to explore. If you believe that generating experiences and relationships is going to be, an important mechanism for communicating, and getting people to choose your company in one way or another. The thing is, it's like I'm struggling where to like walk in the door here, Cameron, because it's such a rich topic, So the answer is yes, people are talking about community, and that community is absolutely essential, and it's a great place to start if you're thinking about communicating through experiences. I mean, you think about your own experience with the communities that you value, whether they're professional communities or, personal communities or whatever. But organizations that are savvy about enabling community behaviors to emerge around their products, around their company, can have tremendous strategic, leverage. And generally speaking, I find that, communities kind of take two different forms. It's either a kind of community around an identity or a community around a practice of something. And, the identity ones, I mean, there's all different kinds. I mean, you can have communities that are like, people who are, sales people who, they're like, we live to sell, or it could be communities around, an identity like an ethnic group or something, or, or a political community. And these things are, very, very powerful to tap into and to form. And, we see a lot of our clients are doing things like employee resource groups or associate resource groups, which might be around like, professional women or parents or LGBTQ or whatever, or they might also have, these kind of professional communities, or these identity communities that are around, desires that people have, like, to be a better leader or whatever. And then that other category, that community of practice is I think equally powerful. And that can be, practitioners of a certain thing, like we're all, developers in the same coding language, or, we are all, trying, like we're all experimenting with some kind of innovative, new method, like in a lot of companies that are trying to, introduce agile practices or agile methodologies. There might be, communities of practice around agile project management or what have you. And, I think the big risk, of course, is that you tilt too hard in favor of, where the benefit is designed to accrue to the organization, as opposed to the benefit accruing to the participants in the community. Yeah. So one of the things that makes me most nervous is when I hear somebody saying, "Oh, we're going to launch a community." I'm like that makes me like, to me, that's like the red flag goes up. Like, okay, are you actually creating something that's of benefit to the community members or to the company? Mm-hmm. And so if the design point of the community that you're launching isn't like close to 100% focused on why you'd really love to be in it if you were a participant, it's probably not going to be very durable. Yes. Like, you might be able to buy your way if you spend enough money and give away enough like shrimp cocktail or something. You might be able to get a lot of people to show up, but it's not going to be durable. And the ACE number one community behavior to look for is generosity. When people show up to a community and they're like, "Oh yeah, like I'll volunteer an hour to do that. Or I will answer a question in this community that's been posed, like this community of practice, like you're trying to figure out that coding thing. Like I will give you a piece of my code, whatever, like when you see that generosity, it's like a flywheel, like that's where community emerges, and you can stimulate that, by putting good community managers in place and so on. And so I think it's really powerful, but there's real risk of it being inauthentic if the kind of, the the instrumentation of it is oriented around the wrong beneficiary.
Yes. Yeah.
Our next conversation will be over that shrimp cocktail.
Hopefully in New York. At least they have decent shrimp cocktails there.
Yours have to crawl through the desert before they get.
Yeah.